Hello, everybody. This is Greatness Becoming Greater, doing another GBG rants. Last video we talked about principles, and we're doing a follow up with this one being about values, but distinguishing the difference between values and principles. So, principles are more of like the morals or the code that you stand on, while values is how much you care about something. Okay, the amount of care you have for a particular thing, whether it be your principles or anything else. Now, the importance of making this distinction is number one, clarification and understanding. As a community, our goal is to get our information to another person as clear as possible so that they can feel and know what we feel and know when it pertains to communication. If someone's being too metaphorical or everything means whatever it means to them, then the goal of getting information from them to you doesn't matter. And then basically they're just trying to be chaotic and they're living in a chaotic lifestyle. But our thing is comprehension, community building, you know, clarity. Second thing, another reason why it's important to separate values from principles because you may have the same principles, but your values for those particular principles may differ. Okay. And then there are many other things that you can value that are outside of principles and which we'll deal with. So if we go with principles and values pertaining to principles, we'll start with the first one being integrity, right? Give three examples. If I have a high value of being a person of integrity, and that means when it comes to keeping my word, I have a high standard for myself, keeping my word. When it comes to not trying to get over people or do people wrong, I have a high standard upon myself to not be that kind of person. All right. If my value is lower than that in being a person of integrity, then I don't care about keeping my word as much. I might keep my word with people I care about, people I don't care about, I don't care about, right? And if that value is all the way to zero, I don't care about keeping my word with anybody. All right. And I'll do anybody wrong, anything like that. And then when it comes to people like your friends or acquaintances and everything. So some people absolutely don't care if their friends are people of integrity. Okay, so their value on having friends with integrity is very low. So they're like, man, if he lie, he lie. If he don't, he don't. If he cool, cool, it's whatever. I'm just here to have fun with him for a while, and then I let him live however life he want to live. He lie to people, he lie to people. If he do whatever he do, is whatever. Okay. Now some people hold their friends accountable, and they have a high value with having friends who are of integrity. So that if this person has this kind of character, if they have a good integrity, it's like, okay, I'm cool with being friends with this kind of person. If they have a bad integrity, I'm not cool with being friends with this kind of person. But at the end of the day, any of these things are your choice. Okay. And how you deal with people and the repercussions, you just have to be mindful of what you're allowing to happen. Another principle that people will have is like self-respect. If somebody has a high value on self-respect, then they won't allow certain people to do things to them. If they have a lower value of self-respect, then they allow people to do certain things to them or do things to themselves that are not as respectful or that are degrading because their value on their self-respect is lower. And then we've turned it to friendships and other relationships. If I have people around me who have no self-respect for themselves, then what's my value in that? Some people don't care if their friends have self-respect or not. Their goal is, I'm here to hang out with them. If they disrespect for themselves, that's on them. I don't care. I just hang out with them. They just a friend. They're not me. They live their life however they want to live. We come in, we chill, we talk, and then we leave. Okay? Significant others. Some people don't care if their significant other has self-respect. They do whatever. They love them through thick and thin, through everything. Some people hold their people to a higher standard. Okay? And these alignments kind of can help or make and break relationships also. So when we get to the last one being getting together before marriage. Some people may have the same principle of, I don't want to get together before marriage. Okay. A person who has a high value on that is like, I'm absolutely not doing it, period. A person who has like more of a mid value or low value on it is, I really would not to do that. That's my principle. But if the conditions permit, I may disregard that principle. Okay. And then sometimes we have people who with mixed values, and we'll get to that after I get to the last one, because somebody who has absolutely no value in it, which means it's not even a principle for them. Okay. It's like, I'm trying to get together. I'm not trying to get together before marriage. I'm actually trying to make it happen, period. So that's not even their principle. And so when you have these different mixes of principles and values, so a person who has the principle but has a low value of it, which is I don't want to, but if you try hard enough, I'll give in. Mixing those people with different values can cause somebody who had it as a high value to drop that value down. Okay. So those are a few of the principles, mixing those with values. But when we get outside of principles, we have things like money, all right, just regular everyday things that people value that aren't necessarily principles. So some people really value money. And so their whole life is based on, how much money can I get? How can I get more money? And that's their only focus. And that value can take away from things such as family time, togetherness time with other people, because that value overrides other things. And if some people value, and like some people value money, but not to the extent that where it's ruining their life or taking over their life, Some people value money just enough to get what they feel like can give them a humble life. And then we have different materials, and people value different things like figurines. People value shoes, clothing. Everybody has different values. So somebody might value the most prestige clothes. Okay. Some people might not have a high value for prestige clothes. Some people might have a value. I just want clothes to get me to the next day, to keep me warm, something to wear when I go outside. Some people value living situations where they want to have the best house, a big house. Okay. Some people want to have the best couch, the most finest of chairs, things like that. And then some people want to have things that are like they don't care. They just live a humble lifestyle. I just want a house that's going to help me to get a place to live, put my family in, and spend time with them. So what you value is going to vary when it comes to that. And then the last value, which I think is important, is when it comes to different types of affections and what you need from someone else. So some people really value verbal affection or physical affection or mental affection, things like that. So when it comes to verbal affection and quality time, when we have things like that, it's like, all right, I really value quality time. If I don't get this quality time, it's going to make me feel in a type of mood. So this becomes important because when we're dealing with other people, and let's say we deal with the affection, the verbal affection things, you want people who, if you value verbal affection and affirmation, then you want people around you who are going to give you positive criticisms or positive encouragement. Okay. Now, as far as friends, some people don't care about having it in friends. It's like, it's my friend, I hang out with them, they don't got to tell me anything. Significant others, some people want it more. Some people don't care about having a significant other. They have significant other for one thing, and then other people like friends for another thing. But in the account that you do want it or need it from your significant other, that has to be expressed. Like, I really value verbal affection, or verbal affirmation, or verbal attention, right? So if you're doing that and you express that you have a high value of that, then that other person has to assess what they feel about it. If they don't care about it and it's not high on their value list, you have to understand that. And in understanding that, you have to see that if they're willing to change and adapt, because some people's values change based off people they know. Like, they didn't care about it, they didn't value it at all until someone that they cared about actually presented to them that it was a value for them. And then those people adopted it into their value system. So that should be taken into account when you're dealing with different people. If somebody tells you this is not in my value system and it won't be, you have to make a decision. Do I know that my body craves this thing? Can I go on without having it being around these people or with this person? Now, some things just have to be addressed within ourselves. Some things may just be issues that we have to deal with in ourselves. Like somebody might crave attention and it may not be healthy. But sometimes you want attention and it's just a thing of affection, of emotion, a thing that's just regularly a part of you that may not be unhealthy. But that's for you to search out for yourself to figure out what values you have, why you value them, what may be a toxic trait of yours, what may not be a toxic trait of yours. And in searching yourself and figuring that out, you'll be able to understand what can be changed, what can be adapted, who fits where, what fits where. And as we get older, sometimes our values just change. Some people are younger, they value dolls. They want to play with dolls and things like that. And they get older, they value peace. Some people was like, I care about going out with the friends and hanging out. And then it switched to, I want to go home, eat a pizza, go to sleep, watch some shows. So, like I said, that just to, that was just the basic of the difference between values and principles and how to get things clear. I feel like making this distinction just helps us to make better communication and just to lay things out for us to have clearer paths and walking forward to where we want to be. So that's all I'm going to say on that for today. Everybody, I thank you for listening. If you have any comments or criticisms, please let us know in the comment section. If it's more ideas that you have to elaborate on, let us know. If there are things that could have been said better that we could have dived into more, let us know. If we could do better, let us know. And like, subscribe, and share. And if it's somebody who you feel like they could listen to this and it could benefit them, send it to them. Let them know. And if you need to talk about it, it's a good conversation starter. So let's just get the community built. All right, everybody, be blessed. Have a great day.